Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. Today I'm going to be making some fun colored tickets. And I love making tickets. I've made them out of so many things. I made them out of washi tape that strips and paper strips and watercolor paper. I've made just a ton of different tickets. I love making tickets. But I was going through and pulling some tickets for another project, and then I saw these and I'm like, okay, well, those are some colors that remind me of my dyed papers that I have. Oranges and yellows and greens, etc. So I had, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make them this summer. I made them last summer and sold them. They were my dyed papers from the, what do you call it, tie-dye kits. I've made them 2 years in a row, and this is my last set that I have left. But then I was thinking about that. I also did that video where I took, this one's been made into something else. I took copy paper and I used watercolors to brush the watercolor paint on there. And boy, like I said, they really just do look similar to tie-dyeing with the kind of like the coffee dye method where you dip it in the color and then let it dry. These end up drying a lot faster for it. Oh, I got some stamps. I laid the stamps on there and now I got a mark. Whoops. Oh, well, at least I'm going to use it. So yeah, so I will try to remember to link the video where I made the watercolor papers. So you can hopefully do that if you don't have any pre-dyed papers. Now, obviously there is coffee dyed papers. That's a staple to use for it, but why not do fun? Right, let's do some fun. And I mean, you could use regular, I've stamped basic sheets of scrapbook paper that don't have a lot of a background on it, but just to give a little texture versus the white here. So you could definitely do this, make tickets out of those. But I think why these are going to be fun is because they're going to have that old crinkly feel to it, like an old ticket. So with that said, I'm going to, I think I want to do this color first. I have one sheet of that. It kind of reminds me of clouds. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do any on these dark ones. I might have to test to see how it looks. But for sure, these lighter pinks and oranges will be good for this project. Now, I did have sitting out here my Tim Holtz stamps that are tickets, but I also have two other, facing the way you can see them, two other ticket packs. These I got from, I think, Amazon or Temu, one of the two. There's a ton out there, but I'm going to mix and match the two for these. I have Versafine Clair. I'm going to use the Morning Mist. It's more of a gray black instead of a dark black, especially if these are supposed to be older. I would think a little bit more worn out would be good. I've got my sheet to stamp off when it's done, and then a little bit of a pad just to give a little bit of a squish. All right, so I'm going to try to keep this out of my elbows away because I tend to like to put that in elbows. And I've got a couple blocks, a bigger one, a long one, and a square one. And we're going to go ahead and make some fun tickets. Okay, fun ticket time. Let's start with this one. So how are you today? Hopefully good. It's a beautiful day out today. We're waiting to hit the huge storms coming up, or not, heat wave, not storms. We had storms last week. But we got some huge heat wave coming at the end of the weekend, beginning of next week, which I am not looking forward to. Cute, right? I mean, if you look at that, reminds me of a ticket like crazy, right? All right, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna not fill the sheet up with one set of tickets, obviously, because I'm gonna wanna have a variety, but we'll do a couple of each and call it a day. All right, so the other question I have for you guys is, you see my nails? Aren't they fun? I love them. I've always liked painted nails. The problem is when I go to paint my own nails, they would like chip 2 minutes after I did them, and the whole tops would come off. So I kind of really stopped doing it because it was really annoying, and yeah, really hard on my nails. So I saw, and let me tell you, I am not a gal who's up on things. But I saw, I don't know, some Facebook reel or something about, you know how these things pop up on you. Who knows? About gel nails. Well, I didn't want to do the gel nails because you got the whole, the curing thing, and, you know, that costs extra money. And I'm going to go this way. This gal is not one to spend unnecessary money for things. So, gel nails are out. Plus, I used to get my nails done when I was younger. And at that time, there was a thing, I think they were called acrylic nails. And I might be wrong. It's been a while. Probably last time I really did it was like when I got married back in '92. It's been a while. But the girl who used to paint on a thicker thing and build it up. And then when I'd have to go get it refilled, she would snap the bottoms off and fill in the bottom so it would grow with your nail. And it ruined my nails because eventually I wanted them taken off. And since the nail never really got fully removed, the nail underneath was weak and awful. So I stopped doing that. So that was another reason why I didn't want to do the press-on nails either, because they had the glue on there and you press it on, and supposedly they're easy to remove. But they, I didn't like the one thing I really didn't like about the acrylics when I used to do them was the feel. You couldn't really feel where you were, like, you know, touching things because it wasn't your nail. The end of it was fake. So if you went to go scratch something, you couldn't really feel it. So yeah, so a whole bunch of reasons why I kind of just really stopped doing them, life, etc. So then I see nails that are like stickers, and well, how are those going to work? And lost my train of thought. Stickers. Okay. I saw some that were stickers, and I thought, well, those could be interesting because the way you file them down is you stick on your nail and it pulls to the front, and then you file it right where your nail is. So it is it's your nail. My short little nails. It's your nail underneath, so you can feel your nail. So whatever you scratch, you can touch. So I thought, well, that can be interesting. My hands are so dirty. Sorry. So I've been looking around for different stuff, and just to try it, I went to the Dollar Tree. They had a couple, and I heard they're actually not too bad there. I didn't like the style, so I went to Meyer, and got this set from Sally Hansen. And I put it on about 3 days ago, and so far I am loving it because it's not peeling, it's not chipping in the end. I see a little bit of my end of my nail, but fun colors. I love them. So I'm going to see if they last a while, for sure. But I did look around to see if there's other ones to order. So I did see a place called, I think it was Lily and Fox, that had similar things to this. And they were only $2.99 a package. And I'm like, well, I can do $2.99 a package. I mean, that's a good deal. There was other ones, some Sissy and Sassy or something, and Color Pops or something like that, Pop Colors. So I was wondering, and I have this long-winded speech here, is do any of you gals do these sticker nails? And if so, which ones have you found to be good and you like? I'd love to hear your thoughts on those if you've ever used them. Now, you know, don't come at me to say, oh, those things have been out for 10 years. Or how. Like I said, I'm not a girly girl, but I'm not a girly girl, really. I barely wear makeup. I don't shop at Ulta. If I have makeup on, I throw some mascara on and maybe some foundation. I never wore lipstick in my life. It's just, yeah, I'm not a girly girl. So I've not been up on things, as they would say. I'm not hip. So these are completely new to me, and I'm loving them. So I might just go down the rabbit hole and order a bunch of the $2.99 ones to play with, because like I said, they've been on a couple days, and I really do like them. I'll save that one to add into a little bit later. So yeah, so What are your thoughts? What are your dealings with these? What have you ever done for those? Actually, I think I want another bigger one. Let's do that one. Yeah, I'd love to hear. So fun. Especially the glitter one. That's fun. This one is confetti-like. It might look weird. I don't know if it looks weird on camera, but not the biggest fan of that. Solids, I don't mind. But yeah, first try. I was pretty happy with it first try because, you know, sometimes first try doesn't work as well as you would think. I tried to use false lashes recently because I was thinking for my son's wedding that I would use the false lashes instead of putting mascara on. Well, that was a debacle. Let me tell you, that took forever to try to get the first set on, and by the next morning, I'd pulled them off. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not gonna work. I was really hoping that those would work because, like I said, I don't really wear makeup a lot, so to have, you know, maybe false eyelashes on all the time to make my eyes look a little bit less sleepy would have been fun, but no, not to be. So I'm not sure why I'm getting a little bit more fancy in my old age, but I don't know. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, this one's always fun. Let's try this one. And let's go that way. We put a little one over there. Okay. So yeah, so we're going to fill up, back to actually crafting instead of nails. Back to actually crafting. I'm going to end up, you know, like you said, just cutting these apart to have in a pile. And what's cool about them is because they are on a not solid paper. Like, you know, this ticket looks a little faded in there. They're not equal. So they look like they've been maybe sitting in the sun and faded, which would be, I would think, how old tickets would look. Now I have things that are not tickets that I could snip in here, sneak in here. All right, how about a railway ticket? Let's do a railway ticket. Are you gonna fit? Oh, you're a little too big. All right, a little tinier than a railway ticket. Would be, there we go, Discover the World. Yeah, and I like the fact that they're going to be like on this, it's not really textured paper, but it has a little bit more of a feel. I mean, you know, at some point it was copy paper, which I don't know, always seems a little smoother to me. But when you put this, some sort of dye on these, they grit up a little bit. All right, almost done. You're too big. All right. I think we're just going to end up leaving that spot blank. See my fit. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you're doing the looking at it because you see the whole outside of the sticker versus where it's on the inside. So yeah, London. I don't mind London. Okay, well, there we go. So much fun. So like I said, we'll end up taking these and cutting them out. We won't be able to cut them out with a machine probably because it was hard to totally line them up, because not only are you different sizes, but you also have an unsteady hand. but I tried to leave a little bit of space in between just to and I'll do my little knock the corner off trick. Maybe just add a little grunge to the outside. Maybe put a little grunge on the inside, like it's seen a day. And there we have a nice old ticket. Fun, right? Yeah, like I said, so I'll be able to just cut these all out, and I'll just cut them out close, and I won't do for each one where I do the same as this, where you get a little bit of an angle, because, and I've said it before, I have so much stuff I might not use in my entire life, so to go that detailed, I am not going to do. So yeah, so I'm going to cut the rest of these down. What I'm going to do is, whoops, extra piece, is I have those other color sheets of paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp those. You won't have to watch it, but I'll put it in the video on a fast motion so you can see them getting stamped and fun. And then I'll be back on the outside of this and I'll show you the sheets in person when they're done. All right, so I got the other sheets stamped, not stamped, and I cut out that first pair. I did count, there's 22 tickets from the one sheet. Now, obviously, you would get a different amount depending on which tickets you use, but that's quite a bit from one sheet of paper. And like I said, I just love them because they are so textile feeling and so crinkly feeling and so old feeling. I just love them. And then the ones that I did in the fast video, I'll show you them up close and slow. So I have the pink sheet here. I haven't cut these apart because I do want to show you in full what they ended up looking like, but they truly are fun because the outsides are darker, the insides are lighter. They just all have such character to them. I love them. So let's cut those apart. And then we have, I don't know, peach orange color. Very fun. I love those. And then last but not least, right now I've got this yellowish green one, and yeah, I love them. I did stop. I only did 3. I was trying to get the other maybe darker ones, the blue one. I was kind of hoping to do the blue one, and I didn't do that. And I was hoping to do this pinkish one because a little bit, well, actually it's more like that pink. I guess it's the same. That's not too bad. That yellow is a little brighter, maybe that one. They're close in color, but yeah, that blue one, this blue one was the one that I was really thinking about doing, because even though it kind of looks dark, I think it'll still look okay, getting some stamping on there. But I kind of ran out of steam. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it didn't take too long. I think it took about maybe 20 minutes to do all 3 of those. So with this sheet, you know, maybe not even half an hour altogether to do them. So really it didn't take that long, but I lost my steam, my mojo. So I still have to cut these out, but I think these are excellent. So if you were looking for a fun way to make some tickets, you've got some ticket stamps, I think this is a great way to do it. Again, I'll link below the video on how I did the hand painted watercolor ones, as well as you know, if you want to know, let me know if you want to know how I tie-dyed those. I have a video, but it's really old. I'd have to track it down. But it's pretty standard, like coffee dyeing, but just using the colorful tie-dye kits that you get that people make t-shirts out of. Okay, well, that is going to be it for today's video. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up and support the channel that way. It's free to do. And if you have any questions, please leave the comment below, and I will do my best to answer it as well as I can. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.